You know that feeling like you're constantly fighting against the clock? Well, what if you could work with time instead? Today, we're going to look at something called the THD Harmonic Calendar. And trust me, it's a system that goes way beyond just telling you what day it is.
Okay, let me ask you something. Take a look at your calendar, the one on your phone or on the wall. It tells you the date, right? Like it's Tuesday the 14th. But does it ever tell you what kind of day it is? I mean, is it a good day to brainstorm or maybe a better day to finish things up? The calendars we use, they just don't do that.
And that right there, that's the big blind spot with our standard calendars. They're kind of like a static roadmap. But the THD Harmonic Calendar, it's completely different. Think of it more like a weather forecast for your productivity. It tells you about the energy of the day, so you can actually match your tasks to the natural flow of your work.
All right, so let's get into what this is all about. The system is called Triune Harmonic Dynamics, and it's all about finding a totally new rhythm for how we manage our time.
So where did this idea come from? It's the work of a man named Kevin L. Brown. He's an independent researcher and inventor, and he had this really cool vision for a system that wasn't based on, the stars or old historical dates. Instead, it's built around something we can all relate to, the predictable patterns of how we actually get things done.
So, what exactly is Triune Harmonic Dynamics, or THD for short? Well, the triune part is the key. It means three. The whole system organizes time into a simple, repeating cycle of 3 phases. And this creates a super predictable rhythm for everything you do, from that first spark of an idea all the way to finishing it up.
Now let's look at the heart of this whole thing, the 3 harmonic phases. These are the absolute building blocks of the entire cycle.
Okay, so the cycle always goes in this exact order. First, you have emergence. Then, it moves into contrast, and it wraps up with integration. And once you finish integration, guess what? The cycle just starts right back over with a new emergence. It's simple, it's predictable, and honestly, it's a pretty powerful idea.
All right, first up is emergence. You can think of this as the beginning phase. It's all about that fresh start energy, This is the absolute best time for kicking off new projects, brainstorming those wild ideas, and just getting the ball rolling.
Next in line is contrast, which is really the doing phase. So after you've launched your big idea in Emergence, contrast is where you roll up your sleeves and get to work. It's the perfect time for that deep, focused work, testing things out, challenging your assumptions, and making some real, solid progress.
And finally, the cycle wraps up with integration. This is the completing phase. It's all about tying up loose ends. It's the perfect time for finishing tasks, writing up reports, looking back at your results, and just kind of making sense of it all before you jump into the next cycle.
Okay, so the theory is pretty cool, right? But how does this actually work in real life? Let's talk about how you can take these phases and turn them into a seriously powerful planning tool.
This is where the rubber really meets the road. So during an emergence phase, you'd want to go all in on brainstorming, but maybe hold off on critiquing or finalizing things. Then, in contrast, it's all about that deep work and trying really hard not to get distracted by shiny new ideas. And when you hit integration, you focus on reviewing and reporting, and maybe it's not the best time to introduce a brand new conflict. See? It's all about matching the right task with the right energy of the day.
And who can actually use this? Well, pretty much anyone. You can use it for your own personal goals, maybe finally making those New Year's resolutions stick. For teams, this could be a total game changer for managing projects. It's also awesome for big picture strategic planning, for any kind of creative work, and even for students and teachers to structure their lessons.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds great, but is it just some abstract concept? And the answer is no, not at all. This has actually been turned into a real, practical tool that anybody can use.
And honestly, here's the best part. The inventor, Kevin L. Brown, has made a completely free, automated THD calendar tool available for everyone. Yep, no cost. You don't even have to register. There is literally nothing stopping you from giving this a try.
So what do you get with this system? Well, for one, you get a global standard that isn't tied to any single culture. It gives you these harmonic cycles for your day, your week, your month, and even your year. They all kind of fit together. It's a totally new way to think about productivity, and like I said, you can test it out for yourself. So, if there's one thing to take away, it's this. In our modern lives, which can feel super chaotic and unpredictable, right? The THD Harmonic Calendar gives you a steady, predictable rhythm to hold on to. It's a framework that's based on the natural flow of work itself, and it can really help you navigate everything that's thrown at you with a lot more clarity.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. We spend so much of our lives just racing against the clock. But imagine for a second,
What could you achieve if you planned with the natural rhythm of your work instead of always fighting against it?